Hello, guys. How are you? I hope you're having a nice day today. I am back with another ghost story. And as you can see, our friend here is still sticking along with me. Now, this video was supposed to have been uploaded yesterday, but I got so busy over the weekend, I was too tired to make a video Sunday for upload. So it's going to be uploaded today. Now, my family and I was not living at the Cottage Grove house when this happened, but my mom, she had a friend that she knew, one of her best friends, when we were living at the Cottage Grove house. Now, my mom, she met her best friend. Her name was Marilyn. And she had 3 kids just like my mom, 2 boys and 1 girl. And they actually met at my oldest brother's school when my mom used to walk him to school. Her oldest daughter, she went to school at the same school that my oldest brother went to. Now, I have an older brother, and then my twin and I, which is my younger brother, I'm the middle child. And then with my mom's friend Marilyn, her daughter was the oldest. And then she had a middle son. His name was Billy. And her baby boy, his name was Ralph. Now, my mom's friend Marilyn, she was in a very abusive relationship. Her husband used to jump on her and beat her up all the time. And one day, my mom asked her, why do her husband keep beating on her? What is he beating on her for? And she told my mom she didn't know. She said she doesn't work. She stays at home. She keeps the house clean. She does the cooking. She don't go anywhere. She take care of the children and everything, have her husband's dinner ready when he get home. But he comes in one of those moods and he just jumps on her and starts beating on her. So my mom asked her, well, why don't you leave him? Because this had been happening. I think my mom knew Marilyn for maybe a year and a half or 2 years during this process, and all this time her husband beating on her. She walked her oldest daughter to school, Vicky, and she would have on sunglasses sometimes, and my mom knew that she was beat up. She'd have bruises on her face sometimes, which she couldn't cover with the sunglasses, and she didn't wear makeup, so you could see the bruises on her face. So my mom asked her one day, say, why don't you leave him? If he's beating on you like that, you should leave him, because one day things could go too far and you could end up really hurt, or you could lose your life over it. You hear about that stuff all the time. That's what my mom told her. And so she told my mom, she says, I don't know. She said, I want to leave, but for some reason I can't leave. And I don't know why. So my mom looks at her and she tells her, He's got something on you, girl. Now, Marilyn, my mom's friend, she believed in the black magic and voodoo and all that stuff. She heard about it throughout the years with her family and friends and stuff. So she knew about it and she believed in it. But she asked my mom, she said, "What do you mean he got something on me?" And my mom told her, "He got a spell on you." And so Marilyn said, "You really think so?" And my mom said, "Yeah, if he's beating on you like that for no reason and you're not doing anything, you're keeping the house clean, you're keeping up with the kids, you have his dinner ready when he get home, you do the grocery shopping, there's no reason for him to beat on you. You're not going out drinking and dressing up and all that stuff and staying out all times of night. There's no reason for him to beat on you." Hey, do I have something to tell you? All right, guys, it is story time. Fictional to reality, real life events, things that I experienced because I was there. From ghosts to spirits, witches to witchcraft, hoodoo to voodoo, devils and demons. If you believe in these things, even if you don't, check out the videos. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Join my friend and I in telling these stories. They're all in a playlist. So, Marilyn asked my mom, she says, "Well, what type of voodoo spell is it?" So my mom tells her, "It'll be at the house." So she asked my mom, she said, "Well, when my husband go to work tomorrow, will you come over? Will you come over to the house?" So my mom, at first she was unsure and she was really skeptical about it. And she told Marilyn, she said, "I don't know." She said, "I don't want to cause you any more trouble, than you have right now. If your husband find out that I'm there, he might get mad." So Marilyn tells my mom, said, "Well, you'll be coming over to help me clean the house." Because Marilyn, her husband bought them, it was a nice big house. It was upstairs and downstairs. And on the first floor, there was a living room, dining room, kitchen. And then on the second floor, there was one, two, the boys shared a bedroom. So I think it was 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. The master bedroom had a bath in it, and then there was an extra bathroom. Vicky had her own room, and the 2 brothers, Ralph and Billy, they shared a room. So there was 3 bedrooms upstairs. So Marilyn told my mom, said, "Well, you'll just be coming over to help me clean the house so it won't look suspicious or anything." And she also told my mom, she says, "I have a lot of laundry and stuff to do and picking up to do. So, it'll be okay. You come over." And she told my mom what time he leaves for work. So my mom set a time that she would come over hour and a half to 2 hours after he left left to go to work. Now, we didn't stay that far from them, so we was able to walk over there. Now, my oldest brother was in school, and my youngest brother, twin brother, he stayed at home with my dad. And I went with my mom over there because I asked my mom if I could go over with her, and she said yes. I tried to follow my mom any place she went. So my mom took me over there, and we went there. We stayed in an apartment. So when I saw the house was big and beautiful. It had a front porch and everything. And we went inside the house. Marilyn's kids were in school, so there was nobody there except for Marilyn, uh, my mom my mom and I. And so Marilyn, she asked my mom if she wanted a cup of coffee, and my mom said, "No, I'm gonna start looking, for whatever it is he have on you." So Marilyn asked my mom, said, "Well, where do you want to start looking at?" So my mom said it would be in the bedroom. If he got something on you, and it sounds like he do, it would be in the bedroom. And so the three of us went upstairs to Marilyn's bedroom, and when Marilyn opened the door, it was a disaster. There was clothes everywhere on the floor. The bed wasn't made. There was stuff everywhere. And so Marilyn asked my mom, say, because her bedroom was pretty big. And so Marilyn asked my mom, says, "Well, where do we start looking at in the bedroom?" So my mom, she says, if he have something on you, if your husband have something on you, it's going to be hidden. It's going to be in a dark place, and it's going to be hidden in a corner somewhere, someplace that he knows that you don't really look. That's where he's going to have it hidden at. So Marilyn told my mom, said, "Well, I'll start looking at looking in the closet," because the closet had sliding doors. It was a double closet, and it had sliding doors. So Marilyn said, "I'll start looking in the closet, and you can check the rest of the bedroom, like in the bathroom and other corners of the house. I mean, not the house. Other corners of the bedroom, under the dressers, because the furniture that Marilyn had, the dressers had legs on it, and the armoire, and then of course the bed." And so my mom started looking around, moving things around, looking behind this and looking behind that, and checking up under the bed. And all of a sudden, Marilyn was checking inside the closet. And all of a sudden, Marilyn, she said, "Is this what we're looking for?" And my mom raises up, because she was checking under the bed. And my mom raises up, and she stands up, because I'm helping them look too, but I don't know what the hell I'm looking for. I'm just there. So, I'm just looking, just to be helpful. And my mom, she stands up, and Marilyn holds it out to her. It was a jar about this big, round jar, had a top on it and everything, and it had something yellow inside it, and it had a headband with a stick pin through it. And my mom, she reaches out and hands my mom this jar, and my mom looks at it, inspects it and everything. The jar had been in the closet so long until it was dusty. And my mom asked Marilyn, "Where did you get this from?" So Marilyn said it was in the closet. And my mom asked her, "Where in the closet?" So Marilyn said it was in the back of the closet in the far corner. I never go in that area because I can't reach back that far. So my mom looks at Marilyn and she tells her, "This is it." This is what's holding you here. So Marilyn took the jar back and she looks at it again and turns it and looks at it. And she said, what's inside? What's inside this jar? So my mom told her. She said, it's your urine, which she said pee. She said, it's your pee, one of your husband's hat bands, and a stick pin that came from one of your brooches. So Marilyn asked my mom, she said, well, what does this do? And my mom said, this is what's causing you not to be able to leave. This is the voodoo spell that he put on you that will keep you here. And as long as it's sitting there in that closet or wherever he decided to hide it, you will never be able to leave him. So Marilyn looks at my mom with a strange expression on her face, and she says, pee? She said, where would he get my pee from? So my mom told us that he probably got it from the bathroom. If you went in and you peed and you forgot to flush the toilet, that's where he got it from. So then Marilyn says, well, what do we do with it? How do we break the spell? So my mom tells her what we do is we take this jar outside and we bust the jar open, and then we take a shovel and dig a small hole at the eave of the house, and we put the hat band and the pin inside the hole and cover it up. And she said, it's done, it's over. And so Marilyn asked my mom if she would do it, and my mom says, no, you have to do it. If I do it, it's not going to work. You have to do it. And so all three of us went through the back into the backyard, and Marilyn did exactly what my mom told her to do. She busted the jar open, and then she threw the jar down and busted open. My mom told her she couldn't open it and pour it out. She had to bust it open. So she threw the jar down and she busted open. And then we had, she got a small, not a shovel, but one of those, I forgot what you call it, that you dig holes in the ground to put plants in and everything. And she dug a hole and she put the hat band with the pin in the hole at the eave of the house, or the corner of the house. And she covered it back up with dirt and she patted it down and everything. So she looked at, and she picked up the glass shards and everything. And she threw it in, she put it in a plastic bag, and then she put it in a garbage can on the outside. And since she always takes out the garbage, she didn't worry about her husband finding it. She kind of buried it underneath some garbage that was already in the can. And so not my mom, Marilyn looks at my mom and says, well, won't he notice that I dug a hole out here? And my mom told us, said, unless he's coming out here checking every day, he probably won't even know that a hole is dug out here. And by the time he realizes it, it'll be too late. So all three of us went back in the house, and Marilyn asked my mom, said, well, I don't have any money. She said, can me and the kids come over and stay at your place? And I'm going to write my sister and ask her to send some money for some bus tickets for me and the kids. So my mom told us that, yeah, now that that's over with, you need to leave as soon as possible. So Marilyn told my mom, said, well, when the kids get out of school, uh, I'll be over. So my mom and I left when we went back home, and later that night, well, not that night, that evening, Marilyn showed up. But she only showed up with Vicky, the oldest girl, and the middle boy, which was Billy. And so my mom asked her, said, well, where's Ralph? And she said Ralph didn't want to go. Ralph said he loved his dad and he wanted to stay with his dad. She said, so I just left him. I left him there at the house. Hey, do I have something to tell you? All right, guys, it is story time. Fictional to reality, real life events, things that I experienced because I was there. From ghosts to spirits, witches to witchcraft, hoodoo to voodoo, devils and demons. If you believe in these things, even if you don't, check out the videos. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Join my friend and I in telling these stories. They're all in a playlist. Marilyn told my mom that she already wrote her sister. Her sister stayed in Rhode Island, Maryland, and she told my mom that she wrote her sister and everything, and she's waiting to hear back from her. And so my mom set up a place in our apartment. We only had 2 bedrooms, a living room and dining room, and my dad, he slept in the living room. My mom, she slept in the dining room. I slept in the dining room with her. And Marilyn and Vicky, my mom cleaned up my room, and Marilyn and Vicky shared my bed. And Billy, he slept in the back room, which was off the kitchen. With my oldest brother and my twin brother, because they shared a room. And so, I mean, everything was going real smooth. We all enjoyed having them there and everything. And so the next day, Marilyn asked my mom, said, well, now that I'm gone, suppose my husband show up here at the house. So my mom told Marilyn, said, I'm not scared of your husband. Said, if your husband show up here at the house, he won't show up anywhere else. And because my dad, by him being in the military, he had guns and stuff from the military, and my mom was not afraid to use it if she had to. So about a week later, a letter came in the mail, and it was money for the Greyhound bus tickets for Marilyn, Vicky, and Billy. So Marilyn, she told my mom called a cab for her, and the cab came and picked him up, and she told my mom, said, well, when I get to Rhode Island, Maryland, I'm going to write you and let you know I made it there safely. So that's what happened. After a few days, maybe about a week or so, we received a letter in the mail with Marilyn telling us that she made it there safely. And a short time after that, we saw Billy on the street. I don't know where he was coming from, but I think my mom, my oldest brother, my twin brother, and my mom, I think we were coming from school. And because my mom worked at the same school that we went to. And we saw him standing up on the corner. I don't know where he was coming from, where he was going and everything. He looked happy. And he didn't ask about his mom, but my mom asked if he had heard from his mom, and he told, when I said I didn't ask about his mom, what I meant was he didn't ask about what had transpired. So my mom asked him if he had heard from his mom, and he said, yeah, she wrote him a letter and everything. And she called him a couple of times and asked him, if he still wanted to come down, that she would send him money for a bus ticket and he could come down. And he told my mom, he says, I don't want to go. I want to stay here with my dad. So my mom told Ralph, said, well, as long as you're okay, that's fine. Stay with your dad. So he's not alone. So, and that was another thing that I forgot to mention. The dad would also, now he wouldn't beat on Ralph, the youngest boy. That was his heart. And that's because Ralph looked like him. See, Marilyn was high yellow. The husband was dark skinned. Vicky, the oldest daughter, was high yellow. And Billy was high yellow. So Vicky and Billy looked like the mom and had their skin color. And Ralph looked like the dad and had his skin color. So that's another thing I forgot to mention in this story, is that the dad also would beat on, he would whoop Vicky sometimes, but he was always jumping and beating on Billy. That was one thing I forgot to mention in the story. So anyway, about a couple of weeks later, we received another letter from Marilyn. And in the letter, Marilyn said, can Ralph come and stay with you? My sister is going to send him money for a bus ticket. And she said in the letter that Ralph told her that his father had started jumping and beating on him now, since nobody else was there. And Ralph, he showed up a short time after that and had his clothes and everything with him. And then a few days after that, a letter came, and it had money in it for him to get a bus ticket. So my mom and my oldest brother went with him to Greyhound and got him a bus ticket and got him on a bus safely and everything. And after that, we never heard from Marilyn again. She never wrote to let us know that Ralph had made it there safely. We never heard anything else from her. And it's so funny how when people need you, they're always around and always available for contact. But then when they don't need you anymore, you don't hear from them again. And I thought it was sad. We wasn't looking for her to write all the time, but for that to be the last time ever, because we ended up staying at that apartment for at least 3 or 4 more years before we moved again. And like I said, we never heard anything else from her. Marilyn never let us know that Ralph made it there safely or whatever. And that's it. So guys, that is the end of this story. It wasn't a ghost story, but it fits into the strange category. And I know I've mentioned this in some of the past stories, but my mom, her family was into stuff like that. They wasn't into witchcraft or anything, but they was into voodoo, hoodoo, and a few other things that I will never mention on my channel. But anyway, because my mom's family was into all that stuff, sometimes this one lady, her name, the aunt, her name was Madame Pugh, and she would ask my mom to help her. Lots of times when people would come to her with different problems, would come to Madame Pugh with different problems. So she would always ask my mom to come and help her do things, to set up and everything, and to help her carry out solving these problems, if you know what I mean. And so that's where my mom learned a lot of the things throughout her life that helped us out. You can check out some of the past ghost stories to see what I'm talking about. Shortly, I will tell a ghost story to let you know how my mom used to clean the house of spirits. But anyway, that is the end of this story, guys. And forgive me for looking down and around and stuff when I'm telling these stories. It's like in my mind, I can see it as if it was fresh, like as if it happened yesterday. And somehow when I'm telling these stories, it's like I'm reliving it and everything. So please forgive me for looking down and stuff a lot in the videos. That's what's going on. But anyway, that is the end of this video. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, I want you guys to come back for more stories. I have a ton of them. It seems like throughout all my life, I have been through something. Even where I'm at now, I will eventually get to all that. But anyway, please come back. Please subscribe. Please share if you know somebody that like to hear real life ghost stories. Share, hit the like button, hit the notification button. Or, if you don't want to do any of that stuff, just come and listen. Come and listen and watch the videos for the hell of it. All right, guys. So like I say at the end of every video, let's work together to live better. And always, always, thank you for watching. And it seems like these stories are getting a little bit better for my friend. Of course, as always, she'll be back with me for the next one. Bye for now.